Will you just take a look at that to-do list? Holy smokes. We're going from little baby factories to putting our big boy pants on today. What are we going to do? We're going to build an entire factory dedicated to making circuit boards, high-speed connectors, and computers. 7.5 computers, 11 high-speed connectors, and 15 circuit boards. Totally random numbers, I know, but why are we doing that? Because it only takes exactly 300 cubic meters of oil per minute. The other numbers are a little weird, and we'll go over them when we get there. But, and honestly, I probably won't even be able to get this done all in one episode. I think I'll just split this into 2 parts. But I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a big one. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to at least do the copper caterium truck stations I'm going to need for taking the ore all the way over to the factory. I've pre-built a factory frame, I suppose you could call it, over here in our little oil setup. If you guys want to build along, you guys can load up into the episode 14, 13, 14 save, whatever this is. And you can save yourself the time and effort of pre-building. I pre-built some of the roads that we're going to need. It took me a little bit of work. I did set up the couple miners that we're going to need. They're just kind of set on platforms ready to go. You can actually see one there off in the distance. That's the caterium one right there. Other than that, we're going to have to do some smelters, some constructors, some assemblers, some refineries, some manufacturers, some coke power plants, and some storage. Fun fact, this whole facility is actually self-powered to the point where it's going to add a net bonus to our power grid by the time we're done, because it's going to be outputting enough petroleum coke to power a bunch of the coal power plants, and it's going to make more power than it takes. I think I get a bonus of like a couple hundred megawatts. I mean, the biggest thing is that it's not actually really taking anything from my current line, which I definitely don't have. I don't think I have the capacity. I think in total this is about a 1200 megawatt factory, probably a little bit more. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go over all the machines we're gonna need, because you're gonna need to make sure you're loaded up on everything so you don't have to run back. But let's go over some numbers. I forgot to count, so let me count real quick. I totally forgot. We also have to unlock the manufacturers first. So here we are loading everything up. We already had everything. It's just motors, plastic, modular frames, and cables. That's an easy one to send off. It's all automated.
Milestone reached.
Let's go.
Manufacturers can receive up to 4 inputs for the production of complex parts, such as computers and heavy modular frames, but most importantly the 2 new project parts. The modular engine and adaptive control unit are essential for the development of Phase 3 of project assembly. You are making good progress. The future is starting to look bright.
I don't know why. I always thought you needed computers for building manufacturers, unless it was that way before and they changed it. But either way, we now have the manufacturers unlocked, thankfully, and we need 6 of them total. So yeah, you are going to need quite a bit of things. We need 20 smelters, 13 refineries, not just 9 constructors to this one, but 17 assemblers, and then 6 manufacturers to finish it off. So we do need a few other things. I don't think I need to load up on motors, because that'll fill back up in the, yeah, that should fill it back up enough in here. But I will grab some copper sheets, especially because we're going to need quite a bit of things for pipes. I'll probably leave some of this fuel and rubber behind. We're not going to be building with any fuel or rubber anytime soon. Alright, we're loaded up with pretty much everything we're going to need. And then a few things just going into our... 9 turbo motors. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate you. Figure we just pop in and grab whatever these guys have before we leave. Didn't think I was going to get some more turbo motors, but they can go ahead and join the turbo motor... turbo motor party we got going on in storage over here. Just got a couple hanging out here. That makes 17 now. I'm just kind of hanging on to them for now. Not really too worried about sinking them, and I might use them. I think I need them actually for opening a few hard drive things, so I'll probably just end up using them for that. But now that we've got everything ready to go, let's head on over to our... you can see where I have a couple of tractors there. They're not doing anything right now, but we're going to head on over here to where our oil sand setup is going. And I'll show you guys the factory frame I've got set up in the road. Yeah, I'll just meet you guys over there when the sun comes up. Alright, sun's coming up on a beautiful day in Satisfactory. I am currently just standing on the roof of our original oil factory here that does our plastic, rubber, and fuel. And this is the next factory we're going to be building right next to it. And this is for all of our, basically our electronics factory. So I definitely kind of went a little crazy with it, and you know, hopefully it ends up where I definitely feel like I left myself enough room for everything. I guess we'll kind of find out in the end. But so the whole plan is that the trucks, or not the trucks, the tractors are going to bring the deuterium and the copper. They're going to drop it off in here, and it's going to feed into the system here. And then I've got some of the packaged fuel line is feeding into this factory. I'm going to connect it over those truck stations, and that'll keep the trucks fueled. And then we've got the one oil pump out off the back. That is I hooked a pipe up, just sending oil in a pipe to essentially where the building starts anyway. I haven't actually really like set up any of the machines or anything yet. I kind of have an idea of where things are going to go. Like up here is going to be like the plastic refineries. Up on top there is probably going to be the manufacturers. And I think in here is going to be the assemblers. And then down here is going to be the constructors and all the smelters. Possibly maybe some assemblers. We'll kind of see. And then down over here on this back corner, like the little side room, I guess you could call it. This is where you're going to have your last 3 refineries. These are going to be taking the heavy oil residue. It's going to be coming out of the plastic, and it's going to be turning it into petroleum coke. And then that's going to get sent down onto this platform here, where the birds are hanging out. This is going to be where the coal generators are going to be, and this is going to power the whole factory and then some. And I mean, as you can see, I did go ahead and pre-build a little road system. Like here's where the truck station inputs are going to be. Like I said, if you want to build basically from having this stuff set up already, you can go ahead and load the save from the Google Drive. Sorry, my voice is a little giving out a little bit today. Yeah, so this bottom floor is going to be all your logistics and everything, and then upper floor constructors and smelters, and then the refineries back there. And then upper floors are going to be a few of the other things. So I think it should work out. Like I said, I don't think we'll be able to get this all done in one day or in one episode, because it's going to be quite a factory to put together. But the first thing we can start out with is the copper and deuterium stations. We can head on down the road here. We'll hop in one of these trucks. I call them trucks. Hop in one of these tractors, and I'll take you to the ore spots so we can get the truck stations set up there. Alright, so I'm rolling up here to the copper spot, which is right here on the map, if you were wondering. Right about here, just kind of off the tip of the coast. So I went ahead and put the miner on up here. I haven't done anything else though, so it's still kind of just ready to go for us. I'll just give you the numbers really quick. It is 356.67 parts per minute. It is a very exact and very weird number. How did you guys respawn here? I killed you last time. But yeah, it is a very specific and exact number. It is going to get dropped down from there. We're going to put down, I forgot to add truck stations to our list. We need 2 truck stations. I'm going to put them in right here. There we go. I'm going to put it right in the middle, so the truck can kind of come in, scoop it up, turn back around, go back through the loop. Now, I don't know if the tractors are going to be able to pull all the parts. I may have to do 2 tractors for each one. We'll see. Both the numbers are pretty close. I think the deuterium's like 10 more parts per minute, but I'll double check once I get over there. But so let's just go ahead and hook this up. We'll kind of get this actually. We're not going to like set the truck line up or anything because I haven't hooked the fuel up. But we'll get this like starting to load up with the copper. And then hopefully we'll be able to see roughly how many parts per minute the trucks can put out. Okay, so I'm over here at the deuterium spot. This is a pure deuterium node right on the edge of the waterfall. very close to our base actually. We were pulling Caterium from this node originally. So this one you're going to be setting to 341.5 per minute. Another very exact number. Hopefully the tractors can pull that much per minute. I don't actually know if they can or not, so we're going to find out together. Worst case scenario, we always can add another tractor to each line, and hopefully they just wouldn't use that much gas. I think maybe if I was short by just a little bit, I would maybe send one to pick up from both stations, but that might get kind of messy, so I probably would not do that. Alright, there we go. I'll worry about setting up more road barriers and stuff kind of once we're done. But that is now filling up with Caterium. So let me go ahead and I'm going to drive this back to base just so I can kind of set them both in the same spot. I'm going to drive back to the factory. I'm going to get that fuel line hooked up so that the truck stations there are actually refueling these when they do their drop off. And then we can actually set up the truck lines and see if they're actually capable of pulling all the materials over that I actually need. And I just want to make sure that's set up and going. I'll hook the truck stations at the factory up to, like, I don't know, just throw them into an awesome sync or something for now, just to make sure it's running. Because generally with factories that kind of get this, it's not like crazy complicated. This is like beginner complicated. I like to kind of power it up in pieces so that I can troubleshoot things as we're going along. So that's probably what we're going to do a lot of today. So I'll see you guys when we get over there and we'll hook the fuel line up. Alright, I made it back to the base. So we got our 2 truck stations over here. And how much room do I have? Can I fuel them from underneath and it would still be okay? I think I could actually, because I'm trying to leave this. There's probably going to be quite a handful of logistics flying around everywhere. So I'm going to try and keep it as clean as possible. Let me just look underneath so I know they'll actually go that far. Okay, see, it'll just be close to the water, but it should be able to run along there without actually clipping into the ground. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I need to be able to fuel both of these at the same time, I'll put a little splitter here, and I'll bring it back a little bit, give myself some space to work with. Because I'm also going to need to be able to unload both of these. I don't think I need to input anything, so like these can be blocked off if they really need to be. But these are going to be the ones I'm actually pulling the ore out of, so we go ahead and put, it can take 100, so I'll put it in the Mark II. I mean, it doesn't actually need that many, but actually here, I'll just, you know what I'll do, just so I can make sure, because this is where it's pulling from, I want to make sure it's not like messing up, like, you know, giving me fuel and stuff, so I just want to make sure these are fueled as fast as possible, so I'm going to use my max belt speed. Okay, so that should still give me the room to be able to pull all of that from there, and I'll just kind of lift it up and over. I don't love right where this is though, because this is going to cause some issues when I go to like closing this wall, so I'm actually going to move this out a little bit closer to the machines. Okay, so now we got to bring this one in. I'm going to bring it up first. Right there. And then I'm going to grab a floor hole. Right there, just so I have a little bit of room to work with. Okay, so now I need to get underneath. Cool, I may have to cut this down. Goodbye, barrel nut tree. Okay, so let me grab our lift here. I'll turn it that way. I'm going to keep it more this way because it gets, you know, the ground gets kind of close here. We'll grab our Mark IV belt. Let's say we bring it to about there. We'll drag it all the way down. This might get a little tricky. Okay, so I'm going to shorten it up a little here just so I can make sure it's in the right spot. Okay, that's good. Now let me get a little further down here. So yeah, the problem is once I go in the water, things are going to get a little messy. Wait, it's pretty... okay, it's nice and shallow here. Okay, so if we put that there... and I grab a lift... can I lift in there without clipping in? No. Okay, so I'd have to put the lift down first. Can I do it like that? Did I face... I may have that facing the wrong way. I think I do. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. So that'll bring fuel all underneath the factory, so I don't actually have to worry about it taking up any room inside. And it'll fuel these two truck factories, these two truck stations right here that need to be connected to power, which I can do right here. Where's the outlet? On the far side? Okay. We bring power line to there. Where are they? Right here. Okay. I like to make things line up when I can. Okay, so those will start having fuel in them, which is good. So now that means then, so I can make sure these are set to unload. And so now I'll do each one. So I'll record the paths for each one now then. So let me go. I don't like to start it at the truck station. That's usually when you get some complications. So let's say I start it like right here. Alright, I don't know why. That took me like an hour to do two, not even that long tractor lines. For some reason, every time I would pull up to try and get it to load up with the ore, nothing would happen. Everything was plugged in, like everything had power, everything was working right, but like you'd pull up to the truck station and you'd hit F to load and nothing would happen. So for some reason, if I was already if I would have like another tractor kind of like in the area, like already trying to record, if I put another one down and then hit it on that one, it would work for some, who knows why, but either way, I got it to work finally. So we've got our stations. I just kind of have this hooked up temporarily. It's a little bit ugly, but we've got our copper coming in there. We get our Caterium coming in there. So now we can finally actually start. I can also take off that from our to-do list because I'll have to let them run for a little bit to make sure they work, but that's why I've got the awesome sync hooked up now. But these should start to give me like a rough estimate of like what the incoming item rate is, and that'll let me know that I've hopefully can just run this single truck per line and not have to do two. But now let's go ahead and jump into doing our smelters, shall we? So we have, like I said, we got 20 smelters to set up, 12 for copper ingots and 8 for Caterium ingots. So I'm going to go ahead and set those up. Let's say probably best to do them probably back here. It's our best bet so they don't have to the ore doesn't have to travel too far before we start to process it. So let's start here. I'm just going to mark out an asphalt foundation so I know where I'm building from. And then I'm going to grab our smelters. Give myself some room because I wanted, like, this spot I suppose would be where the splitter will be. I'll do this as, what's the one on the left? It has to be copper, right? Okay, so we'll do copper first. We'll do our 12 copper ones. Although I suppose I could do, since it's 12, I could do like a 6 and 6 instead of doing 12 long. I think I'll do 12 long though. Alright, 12 smelters all set up that are going to be doing copper. I'm going to have to adjust the clocking on them in just a minute. And I did add just a little bit more platform at this side, so I had a little bit more room to work with. So that now I can kind of fill all this in going down this way. And then also There we go. Want to make sure I have a nice amount of space to work with for decorating. There we go. We'll worry about more of that stuff after. Let's get this part all done for now. And so now, let's figure out, I need to do 356.67 copper ingots per minute. So, I mean, I guess I could do 356.67 divided by 12. No, let's not do that. So, let's just fill in the way it would be normally, and then we'll just downclock probably just one of them. So 30 times 12 would be 360. So 360 minus 356.67. So I need to take off 3.33. So 30 minus 3.33. 26.67. I'm just going to copy that. Oops. That's how many I want per minute on that one. And then the rest of these can just be normal. Alright, so now we can just do our splitters and mergers, which is just going to be really just a very long manifold line here. Here, I lost... This is the only problem I have with asphalt is you lose kind of the markings on the foundations. There we go. I wanted it right in the middle. The input coming from this side, because there's going to be a hole right here. Then we're just going to pop these all the way down here. There we go. All our smelters and manifold line put in now. I guess this is where doing just 2 groups of 6 would have been easier, because you only would have had to use the 6 splitters instead of all 12 or 11 that I just used. I saved one in the end. So now we're going to put down airlift mark 4 feed in right here, and that is going to be all our copper hooked up there. And then I will also send it. I think I'll also keep it going in that direction. So I'll put all my mergers, sending it down that way as well. Although it would work well, because then there could just be 2 floor holes on this side. So yeah, let me do that. So let's grab our mergers. Again, I'll have to turn the foundation back so I can know where it's supposed to go. It's gonna be right there. And then, so we'll just pop all these down, and then another floor hole right here. Conveyor 4 lift, yep. But I want to make it receiving, not outgoing. That lines up, right? Sure does. Alright, cool. So let's pop in the mergers, and that'll be that. And there you have it. We have our first line of smelters done. The copper smelters done, at least. They've all been wired into the ceiling. They've all got splitters and mergers, so it'll all come... It's basically an in and out of 356.67 ore, and 356.67 ingots come back out. You could change... We're going to be using some alternate recipes throughout this build, and you could kind of change some around to kind of make the build a little bit different if you want. You can actually basically make this with just all caterium and oil, but you need a lot of... It's like almost 600 something caterium, so... this way, you basically split it between half and half copper and caterium, and then use a nice clean 300 cubic meters of oil. Just means a nice... I'd prefer the fluids be a nice even number, and then I can do solids with random numbers, so they kind of balance out as we go forward anyway. Okay, so I marked out with some more of the asphalt foundations where we can mark, or where we can put down our 8 smelters for caterium ingots. Now it's going to be kind of split. I mean, they're going to go into a splitter afterwards and split into 2 lines. I would do a load balance, but the numbers are 71.33 caterium ingots on one line and 42.5 on another. So we're just going to go with a manifold line. So let's grab our remaining smelters here. I'll do it from this side. I'm trying to line them up roughly with the ones over there. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Look at that. 8 smelters. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got it. So we can now go ahead and basically just do the same thing for those that we did to this one, except we're going to be setting these to Caterium. And I need a total output of, let me do some quick math. A total output of 75 point, nope. 113.83 split across these. So we know each one puts out 15 and we have 8. So 8 times 15 is 120. So, okay, it took me way too long to figure this out, but it is 8.83. I'm going to downclock this 2 on the very first one in the line, and then the rest of the ones can all just be normal. Just do their normal 15. Alright, smelters are officially done. I mean, that was a little bit easier than I thought. Aside from the math, that really caused me some grief, which, you know, what else is new? But other than that, like, the layout actually kind of works pretty well. There's a nice good amount of space to walk in between for any and all troubleshooting purposes. I mean, I guess I could have used up even a little bit less space than I did. But now that means I can hook these up. I think what I'll do is, just so I can make sure they're all working, is I'm going to hook the... Basically, I'm going to hook up the raw ore to the lines, and then I'll hook up the outputs into, you know, the awesome sink instead. Just so I can make sure this is actually working. So I know all the raw inputs are the ones on the left, right? So if we go to... No, I mean the ones on the right are the raw input. As soon as I said it, I was like, no, that's not right. Right. It's the raw inputs are on the left-hand side on this one and the right-hand side on this one. That would have confused me. I mean, it kind of helped. You can just kind of see which way the arrow is coming down, so you can see stuff wants to come down this way. That means that's my output. So these are going to be... Actually, I think I'm going to keep these higher up. I'm going to keep things, like, for the most part, higher up, so that they're kind of out of the way of other things. Let's bring this one around. So this one is the copper, right? So the copper is the this one. I guess maybe I should have done it the other way around. My bad. There we go. I got around my crossover conundrum by turning the input for the Caterium around the other way, so that I could loop it around the back of this one, and now it still stays out of the way of these. These two outputs can kind of... I don't need those to be on the ceiling, but these are now at least just kind of up and out of the way. These are just ore, so they're going to be flooded lines all the time. Okay, so now I just need to hook up the these bad boys to power, and then I'll be able to know if they're running properly or not. So let me grab from here. Hopefully this is kind of coming together. I've been recording this for like almost 2 hours already, and I feel like I've made no progress, so I hope I'm able to get this like into a good watchable video for you guys. Okay, so we're flooding ore into the system. That means we can now come back down below and hook these outputs up to the awesome sink. These will just be temporary, so that's okay. Bring them down for now. Put them into a merger. Okay, so temporary, just throwing all those ingots into the awesome sink there, just so I can know this is actually working. And I just want to actually make sure that we're actually getting enough ore. So really, this is just a big test to make sure that the truck line is actually working. I know the smelter line is going to work, so we can definitely take that off our to-do list. Just like that. And then that means we can finally move on to the constructor phase of this. Good lord, this is taking me forever. And honestly, this is our smallest part. We only have to do 9 constructors. So we have 3 doing Caterium wire, and then where's the other ones? And then that Caterium wire is being turned into, turns into wire. And then that's going to be going into cables. So really the constructors are going to be feeding themselves on this floor. So they don't have to like go under or anything. They can just kind of feed into each other. All right, mark myself out a little asphalt work area, and this should be enough space, I think, for 9 constructors. Not that bad. So it's a group of 3 doing the Caterium wire. So let's start with those. So we'll grab our constructors. Make sure the orange is facing this way because this is where the splitters are going to be. So let's go 1, 2, and 3 of those. And then we can grab our splitter line. That's a merger. Have it coming from that direction since that's where... Oh, almost got it. There we go. Since this is where we're going to just bring some of the Caterium up through here. So we're going to set these to do Caterium wire, which I clearly have not... Oh, there it is. Caterium wire. And so I need... What is it? 340? And this would make 360. So I need to take 20 off of this one. So the first one in the line, you can do 100. Yeah, each of these is going to only take in, I mean, not the underclocked one, but 15 Caterium ingot, and you get 120. This is a wire making machine. Literally. Okay, so those 3 are going to feed into 2 groups of 4, I think would probably make the most sense. We'll merge these together. And then actually maybe what I'll do is I'll split this, we'll change how this is downclocked. So we'll make this one in the middle 100. We'll change this one back to normal. And then we'll put a splitter in front of this one. Just like that. And then mergers in front of the other 2. Facing forwards. Just like that, right? Okay, so that'll split since I need these to go into like 2 groups. And then I can set up my constructors as such. We'll go 1 there. 2, 3, 4. And same thing on this side. Actually, yeah, that's fine. I'll add a little bit more space over here. It's like that. We've got so much room to work with. What am I talking about? There we go. Look how pretty that turned out. So we got, like I said, this splits onto the other 2, so it'll feed each line properly. And then these are going to be set to a certain amount of cable. I placed too many constructors. There is only supposed to be 6, not 8. I kind of added an extra 2 here. So let's chop these 2 off the end. Which is actually kind of good because that means I can save some of the space I was going to be taking up. My bad about that. I was like, wait a minute, something about this doesn't seem right. So we have 6 constructors doing cables. That's the correct amount. And it's 170 divided by 6, which is 28.333. So we're going to set that to everybody. We're going to go to cable. We're going to paste in 170 divided by 6, 28.3333. Copy that. Paste that on everybody else. And that'll be good to go. All right, constructor area is officially complete. So we got our quick wire coming in, or our Caterium goes into here, becomes a quick wire. That quick wire feeds these constructors that turns it into cables. And those cables are going to feed off into 2 separate manufacturers. One is going to be making the, I believe, computers, and the other one makes the high-speed connectors. So that is done aside from hooking up the power, but we're just going to leave this part for now because, well, it's going to be a little while before we actually get this part up and running. I still have to make sure this part still works properly. And then we can worry about hooking things up from down below. The only thing actually I really need to hook up to here is some of that Caterium output. So some Caterium, it becomes the Caterium ingots. Some of it goes here, and then the other bit of it is going to be going up to another floor for assemblers, where it's going to be an alternate recipe fused quick wire. Just super helpful. That dumbed down the amount of copper else. Like before I added in a few alternate recipes, there was like over 500 on some of these, and I was like, ooh, I can't really do that yet. But the way I used my alternate recipes, got it down to under 400 for everything, and then kept my oil at 300. But it looks like my smelters are working pretty well so far. Not seeing it. It may be a while before they actually got like messed up. Although I wonder if like having it the system a little bit preloaded. 345 items per minute. So yeah, I think it's pretty much. I don't think it would really ever show the decimal point. They're an 85, so I think it's working. That's why I want to be able to let it run for a little bit so that I can actually see how, you know, everything kind of works out. Yeah, we can go ahead and knock constructors off our to-do list for today. We're making, I mean, it's been 2 hours, but, you know, we're making pretty good time. But, yeah, at least now we get to move on to probably the much bigger part than the constructors is all the assemblers. So we got 10 assemblers doing fused quick wire and 7 assemblers doing Caterium circuit boards. Some of those circuit boards I'm actually just going to take. The trucks are working though, and that's all I can really ask for, right? So I think this floor up here, like this space in between, this is where I'm going to have all my assemblers because I've just got a good amount of open space here. And then up on top of this is going to be the manufacturers. And then right here, this is going to be 2 groups of 5. It's going to be a little tight, but it should be fine. 2 groups of 5 refineries should be able to squeeze in here. So we're going to start doing our assemblers. Let's start with, I guess we could do 2 groups of 5. Because I don't know if I could fit 10 assemblers here in one long line. Maybe I can though, because I can move everything all in like one. I was very wrong. I was looking at my build layout and I was like, wait, no, that's not gonna, can't do that many. So the reason I'm not gonna do that many just all in a row is because I need 240 of this quick wire going to the other assemblers that are going to be in this room. And then I need another, oh my good lord, 616, what a weirdly specific number, 616 quick wire going to somewhere else. So I'm going to do the group of, it would be 3 assemblers to do the 240 quick wire. That'll be feeding into like the other assemblers. And then I'll do the other ones, the other 616 ones. So let's grab some assemblers here. Let's plunk them down right here. I can get them into position. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. That's going to be some of our, that's going to be our quick wire for the other assemblers. So then I also need to put down, sorry, it's 7 assemblers that this goes to now. So we're going to go, make sure I leave myself a little bit of space in between because I'm going to be able to need to merge this together and then put in some splitters behind it. So let's go like, let's say if we went from like there, that should be enough space, right? Because then we can have enough space for the merger on the back. And since it's so close to the other, let's put it right there. Okay, new game plan. Because I needed the 7 up here that's going to be doing the Caterium circuit board, which I also need to go choose from the MAM. I'm pretty sure I have it as a selection choice. And then these ones, these 7 are going to be doing the 616 quickwire that I need from the fused quickwire recipe, because 616 divided by 90 each is 6.84. So we need to stow exactly 7 each on this floor. And then, well, I ran out of room. So I went ahead and I just moved the 3 that are going to be making the little bit of quick wire, just the 240. That I just squeezed in down here because I still had a little bit of extra factory room to work with on this floor. So I'm just kind of squeezing stuff in sort of where I can so that I don't have to change the layout of the build. It's not like anything super crazy, but I kind of just chose the shape of it and everything at random. And then I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, decorate it as I see fit going forward. So hopefully it'll look cool in the end. And I just thought, you know, all sorts of different angles and shapes would be kind of a fun way to put it together. So it looks like we can go ahead and start hooking up a few more things through the build. Let me just get the... Oh, that's going to hurt. Let me just go ahead and get the last little bit of splitters and mergers put on. Or let me put the splitters and mergers on in here. And then we'll also have to do the same for the assemblers up top. So let's just kind of... I think we can just kind of jump ahead on this. I think we all know how to put splitters and mergers down by now. So let's jump ahead to putting those all down. And then I think I can kind of start considering moving some things around even more. So maybe start, you know, hooking this up with some quick wire and then kind of start having more of the factories turned on. And then we'll set up the plastic and I'll see how much time I have left in the episode. All right, so we have the alternate Caterium circuit board recipe. It just took me a minute to dig through and rescan a couple hard drives. Wasn't too bad. Now, we do need the plastic and the quick wire, but I get 8.75 per minute. And I have 7 of these, right? So I get 8.75 times 7. Oh, not 78. 61.25. Now, how many do I actually need? 56. So we're going to take 56 divided by 7, 8. So we're going to dumb all these down to do exactly 8 per minute. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it on everybody, and that should be totally fine. See, I told you we were going to get to more even numbers. All right, I'm ashamed to admit this took a little bit more figuring out than it really should have. So I've got this. So the other side is all set. We did the 8 Caterium circuit boards per machine. This side's a little bit more complicated because we have to do 616 quick wire, or fused quick wire, and obviously we can't move that all in one belt. So the nice part was, since we have 7, I went ahead and I did the math. So the other ones can all stay at doing the 90, but this one in the middle is going to split so that these lines are, you know, exactly evenly fed lines. So it'll be a lot easier to handle later. And this middle one is downclocked to only do 76 per minute. Which is 84.5, you know, whatever the percentage downclock is. So that way these 76 will come out, they'll split, and they'll feed to adjoin. Each line of these are going to be the 90. And I went ahead and I just set, so it'll basically be 2 lines of 616 divided by 2. 308 on each one. So that'll be nice. Nice even numbers we're starting to get to. So each of those is going to feed into... as well as the other side. I've got temporary awesome sync set up. So I think basically the way we're going to end off, I'm not ending the episode here just yet, but I want to get the plastic set up with the refineries and then get that all hooked up. So basically I want to be able to get it so we can turn on the factory to be making at least the circuit boards. And because this quick wire is going to be going to a manufacturer that we're just not going to get put down today. And I think like the next episode we'll do like all our manufacturers, we'll do the petroleum coke with the power plant, and then we'll also do our decorations. So make sure you come back for that. But to finish us off today, I mean technically we can take the assemblers off the to-do list. They're not like hooked up from down below yet. I do have the actual conveyor holes though, and then these are just going to lift up to the upper floor, I think. So let's hop on down below here. We'll find where our inputs ended up being. That's not the greatest spot. It's kind of gonna make things a little bit weird, but should be able to... Okay, so I mean, it's a little silly to send them down and then back up again, but I might do it anyway. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab... Actually, let's find out what do they do when they get down there? Nothing really, right? So maybe I won't send them down. Oh wait, no. That was not the one I wanted to take out. My bad. That was my bad. I should have known. Should have known they were the mergers, not the splitters. Okay, so if they just have to go to right there, and that would be... This is the Caterium here, and this is the copper. Okay, so that's not going to go to the same spot. Let me double check where this is going. So the copper is going to the assemblers over here. So actually, yeah, that one can go down underneath. And then that'll go to be fed over to these ones. That's going to go in with some of the caterium. Okay, so yeah, technically it does have to go down so I can split it and then send it. So I will do that actually. Sorry, that was kind of stupid then. Just completely wasted time. Let's link those back up. We'll go back down and then we'll figure out how to split these. It took me a shameful amount of time to figure out how to pump those between floors. So I've got everything is more or less hooked up now between the floors. So I have the caterium ingots are flowing to over here to make the cables, over here to make some of the fused quick wire, and then also upstairs. That's why I think I confused myself so much, was because I ended up having to split it to so many different areas. And then some of it also comes up, like I said, up here to do the fused quick wire up here. Got copper ingots up here as well, which means, okay, so that means I have actually hooked everything up correctly. So I think technically I could turn on this fused quick wire line if I wanted to. Actually, yeah, let's do that really quick. There we go. Got some quick wire up and running. I just kind of wanted to see, I want to see these things start to balance themselves out as we're getting everything set up here. So that is quick wire number 1 set up, and then we just got to power this one on as well. And that should be all our quick wire pumping out. And I can't build anymore. What happened? There we go. I don't know if it's like my game has been so much more glitchy in 1.0 than it was in the update 8 playthrough, but maybe that's just my computer. Okay, so I want this line of 3 doing 240, and 90 times 3 is not 240, it's 270, so we got to take off 30, so let's just go ahead and do 80 each. 80 times 3 is right? Okay, so that is all the assemblers for quick-wire up and running. I'm not going to fire up the ones for the plastic yet, because obviously we don't have the plastic. And then we are also... I'm maybe not going to turn that one on today. I will set the plastic up, but then we got to figure out like all my maths for splitting up my quick-wire and everything, which I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet today. I've been recording this episode for a very long time because I thought this project would be just a little bit easier. I think maybe I should just taken the time in between episodes, and I probably will over the next couple weeks. I'm going to start taking some time to actually set up some blueprints, just to make doing factories like this a little bit easier, so I'm not setting up quite as many like splitters and mergers and everything. Should be a little bit faster for us. But anyway, so far we're having a pretty good, seem to be working pretty well so far. We'll get this other section of quick-wire up and running here in just a moment. I don't necessarily absolutely need it yet, and it's also, the output is actually not connected to the rest of the line yet. Although that's, like I said, that's pretty much just going from there. All those cables are going to be feeding into, they're feeding into manufacturers, so yeah, we don't have to turn those on yet. Alright, let's do our refineries, shall we? It's about freaking time. I feel like I've been working on this for ages. So, we're going to grab our production. We're going to grab our 10, we have 13 refineries to build in total, but only 10 for the plastic here. The other 3 are for the petroleum coke. So, I'm going to try and squeeze 2 lines of 5 in here. I think if I put them like this, it should be able to fit in nicely. Might have to shift forward a wee bit. I'm going to bring it up to that line right there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tell me you fit. Look at that. It's perfect. Okay, so. And we just need another set of 5. This is all for plastic. So make sure I leave myself enough room for like all my pipes and everything to be put in here. Two gaps should be enough. We'll just do the same thing. Another 5. That planned this one out super well. This worked out like not I wasn't thinking this would be so perfectly fit, but it actually worked out pretty nicely. So since these are all going to be doing plastic, we're going to have all the inputs are going to be the same. So it's just going to be one black pipe going down. So actually, you know what maybe I could do is I could maybe spin them around and then I could feed it from the one pipe. Let's do that actually. There we go. Now I got all my inputs coming down this line. So now it'll kind of clean up my pipe work that I can put in through here. So let me go to my pipe section of my hotbar. Put in our first one here. How did I line it up? Is it not? Oh, okay. I remember. Okay, yeah, it could still be the one pipe, but the pipe connectors have to be kind of like offset a little bit. There. It's like I'm a genius. Look at that zipper pattern of those pipes put in. So that should feed everybody off of one line. And let me just do this to make sure it gets a nice flow pattern to it. So I'll line that up with that one, that hole right there. Back two if I can. No, I can't. Okay, well, I can just do it this way. Get a nice bend at the end, right in there. That should prevent any crazy like backsplash, I think. And then, did I not line this one up properly? I don't know if I did or not. I did not. I'm gonna say that's not straight. Okay, now I should be able to bring. Yeah, if I bring the oil pipe up, I'm going to bring it like through this room, but along the ceiling. And so I'll just put the hole right here. I can go in there. Then yeah, I'll just drag the pipe along the ceiling. And the oil actually comes in from over here. So let me grab it. Bring it around. So I want to make sure it's kind of out of the way of everything else. So where did I have it coming in? Right here. Okay. So let me put a pipe floor hole right here. That should be straight up. It is not. There we go. Then we're just going to line that up with this pipe here. Beautiful. Okay, so now should be able to bring this one down and around. Is this right in the middle? Sure is. Okay, that helps me line it up actually really well. Set it to horizontal to vertical. And there we go. So that is definitely going to need a pump or two. What's the head lift on this one right now? Doesn't really actually tell you the head lift on it. But they do give you head lift. Head lift of 10 meters. So what's 10 meters? Is this 10 meters? No, okay, so I can actually go a little bit. I can probably put one about somewhere about right here. So it's close to the factory and I don't have to run a power line all the way to it. Okay, so we get that pump. Oh, missed the landing. Got that pump hooked up. That should at least get me up to there. We'll see if I have to add another pipe in here somewhere. But yeah, it looks like it's starting. Okay. So as long as it can get from there up to the second floor, then we should be all right. But we'll let that run for a minute to actually see if we have any issues. And then the real fun part, and the reason I'm probably not going to be turning the other side of this on today, because I probably won't be able to turn the plastic on because we'll just have so much heavy oil residue backed up to deal with. Although, I guess actually, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll set the pipes up, and the heavy oil residue is going to be coming down here. So I think what I'll do for now is I'll just throw some fluid buffers, and that should be able to hold me over until, and I'll just have to flush them until we can come back and finish off the rest of the episode. Or, well, finish off part 2 of this episode, I mean. So, coming out of all of these is going to be plastic, and we'll be able to run... It looks like they're going to be going... Some of the plastic is going to be going to the deuterium circuit boards, and then some of the plastic is going towards the computers. So, can I have this just normally split? Looks like 80 and then 120. So, I suppose probably the way it's going to be... So what do I get? 20 plastic each, right? Yeah, so one of these will have to merge with the other ones, which maybe I'll do on this floor before sending it down. Let's do that actually. So we'll do mergers, and we'll set. Actually, I guess I can work from up here, and it'll be a little easier. So we'll go send the ones from this merger down this way. And I just realized those are way too close because I still have to bring the pipe. Let me do the pipes first. Okay, pipes are hooked up, right? So now we'll be able to understand where we can put in our mergers. So we're not crossing things over each other. I'll give myself a little bit of room here. So yeah, I want the first 4 coming together like that. That is definitely in the wrong spot. There we go, should be right now. So this is 80, so eventually, like, I'm just gonna use my maximum beltage, because why not? Gets things moving. Well, like, once you start using blueprints too, you end up using, like, your max belts on everything anyway, so it's not really a big deal. So that's gonna be coming out. Get those all linked up. That's gonna be our plastic line. Just for deuterium circuit boards. And then this heavy oil residue can mix thick, can all become one line as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll grab from here. Okay, so I'm bringing the pipe around to the back side here. I'm going to make it so it's a nice straight line for everybody. And then this one on the end, I'm hopefully going to be able to have it set so that this one kind of has like a pushing ability. I don't know if this is actually how fluids work, but it's how it's how I like to think they work. So first off, we're going to need the support right there. And we can pipe all these in. Snapping all our junctions going down. This is where I'm kind of looking forward to having the bigger blueprint maker too, because I can kind of set these up like really cleanly with more space. Setting refineries up without a bigger blueprint thing is, you gotta be like really tight with them. So I usually end up setting them as just like a group of 2. Sometimes I do 3, but okay, so that's going to be the residual, or the heavy oil residue that comes out of our plastic. Then now, I'm on the back side again here. I'm going to take a merger from right here. I'm going to face it towards me. I suppose I can back it up a little bit. Maybe put it there and it won't clash with anything? I don't think so. Okay, so what I want to do now is you into there. And then I'm going to be bringing the backside ones. Put them right there, I think. Doesn't clash with anything. Nope. We'll bring that around. I'll hook this up with here. Figure out where the line is. There we go. So that'll be the 120 plastic. I don't know why I used Mark IV belts, but because we can. So that's the 80. This is the 120. The 120 goes to manufacturers, and then the 80 goes to the far side assemblers. So yeah, I still got to figure that part out of where I'm actually going to be putting those. Let me make sure the oil, or the crude oil is actually filling up. Okay, so I think we didn't get enough head lift off that one pump. So I think what I'll do is, even though like it clearly goes up a certain, I think I'll just put the other one here. Yeah, it looks like we're just trying to play it a little too close. That's okay. There we go. Now we only have a 14.1 meter head lift on this one. And then this one is, that's the pipe, not the pump. That's again not the pump. Can I have the pump, please? There we go. This one gets, okay, so now that should start to fill up my pipes a little bit better. I'm not going to make it. I don't have enough to get up on that high. Okay, yeah, there we go. Instantly the pipes just start filling up. There we go. Okay. Now we got our proper flow going. Perfect. All right, that works. Okay, so now that would come out from here. I want it to be sent down, right? So let's go like this. Let's get a floor hole. Actually don't really know where to put it. Like if I put it right here, can it go down? Yeah, okay. So that'll send my heavy oil residue down. For now, I know it's going to look ugly, but I'm just going to hook this plastic up to over here. Just so it's all together. Because I'm just sinking it for now, right? So let's take this plastic, just mix it in there just for shenanigans' sake. Because like I said, I'd like to be able to power this part on, make sure this part works too. And then we'll just have to flush the overflow. I mean, for now, we know that's where that's going. And then we can put an organization, put in some fluid buffers. Okay, so that's a bunch of fluid buffers just hooked up to give myself some buffer room. So now we just got to get these hooked up to power, and we can really test this whole, we can just do a double check on how the factory's running to make sure it's all efficient. And that means we can then call it a day and resume in the next episode, putting in the manufacturers, the coke power plants, the storage, and then all our like cool decorations I kind of want to do. All right, I did a very quick, just threw power lines down because I don't actually have like the roof or anything on there yet. So we'll have to do some slight changes in the future to make this look a little bit cleaner and prettier. But for now, it means I can at least turn on my refineries here that are going to start pumping out the plastic. So we're going to... Oh, I see some coming out already. That's good. Oh, that's fast. And then these should start to fill up with the heavy oil residue, which actually might take a little bit because we actually end up with so much pipe. But that should flow out from down here and come down the line here to combine with everything else. And then it'll flow into these. Eventually it'll flow downstairs and it's going to make power. So let's just double check, like as those kind of balance themselves out, although they'll probably be ready to go pretty much by now. Yeah, everybody's all filled up, ready to go, so they're already working at 100% efficiency. These ones have been working for a little bit now. They're all working at 100% efficiency as well. So far, we're doing okay. It's only took many hours to do this. Okay, so I see smelters, but I think they're probably overstuffed. Yeah. I was going to say, they're probably backed up is the problem. Same with these ones as well, because these have nowhere to go right now. Actually, these aren't even hooked up yet. Where do these ones go again? Oh, right, now I remember. These go to the Caterium circuit board, so they're not even... They're fine, because they're not hooked up yet. So, like, this is where the plastic and that quick wire is going to... So that quick wire actually... yeah, I think because of where everything comes out, I'm going to take these off here. I'm going to put them on the back side. And then, which also means I'm going to have to turn all these around. So I'm going to do that in between the episodes, but that, yeah, that's going to be a bummer. But I'm going to turn everything around so that it can just flow up easier since it's all pretty much right here. And then the plastic's over there. I just got to bring it down and around, so. Okay, what's up? Why are you yellow? Not getting enough oil. Why are you not getting enough oil? Yeah, all of a sudden we seem to be not getting enough oil up here. What's happening? Oh, that's why. I definitely had set this up to be power sharded, and someone must have reset when I was doing this. That's why we weren't getting enough oil, because I wasn't even sending 300 up there. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, why? What happened? Okay, so and that means everything that we've set up so far is working correctly. Some of the things are just backed up because they're all too full. Sort of like these things, but so far everything's working okay. Let me just make sure we're also not like about to blow our power or anything like that. Okay, so our max consumption is technically higher than our production, but we still have like so much wiggle room that I should actually be able to even get this power plant or this whole factory up and running before I would even need the auxiliary power that it creates. Because technically I don't think I had quite enough power without this, you know, this factory adds power to the grid, so that's helpful. I don't think I would have enough to power it beforehand, because, I mean, by the time we're done, this is going to be quite a bit of factory. But this kind of covers 3 huge electronic components that we need for crafting going forward, especially like as we move through the next tiers. And we should be able to more or less unlock pretty much most of what's in these tiers. And then we can start, I'm going to start building some other things too. Like we need heavy modular frames. We need some weapons too, man. Like I want to get started on the compacted coal and the turret. So like upcoming soon, we're going to have to start considering like our next power plant build. And I'm thinking of just like skipping over the fuel build like I did previously, and maybe we just jump straight to turbo fuel. So if you guys think I could just, I don't know, like I've never built a turbo fuel plant before. So if you guys think I can potentially get one up and running with the current setup, then let me know in the comments down below. I would definitely like to at least give it a try. But yeah, so it seems like everything is working for now. So we'll bring this part 1 episode to an end. At least we've got some stuff up and running. Everything seems to be efficient, aside from the fact that some things are backed up because we're overproducing at this point. But yeah, my main goal was to find out if the tractors would work, and it seems like one tractor is holding it down just fine. I can always double check in on the numbers here. Like no one really seems to be going down by that much. So I think we're doing okay. Still looks like it says 261 items per minute, which is less than what I need, but I don't think that's like 108. I don't think that's entirely accurate at the moment until the factory kind of balances itself out. So thank you guys again for being here for another, what I hope is going to be another awesome episode. We finally did get a good amount of the factory up and running, which was a crucial component. It took way too long for me to get those tractors done, but so there we go. We got copper Caterium stations done, smelters done, constructors done, assemblers done, and well, most of the refineries done. Then we only have left the manufacturers, the coke power plants, the storage, and the decorations. And I will see you guys in the next one.